Good morning and welcome back to Stitch to New. Lady Girl and I are excited to share with you all the cool things we've got going on. Got several projects going on. You might notice new surface here. This is my Krista table. This was in a different space. I had this in my downstairs sewing area, which is getting ready to be converted. I've moved it here to the sewing studio now, and I'm getting ready to make some big changes here. You'll see Lady Girl is very happy with her new old space here. This is where she loves to sit while I'm sewing. You'll see she's chasing her bone now. She's got her little alien that she loves to cuddle up with. But I've decided to rearrange. Originally, I wanted to keep my sewing space separate from my sewing studio, where I actually have students come in and sew. But I find myself not wanting to go to my sewing space and go all the way downstairs. It's darker, it's in my basement, there's not as much light as I do just sitting here and using my student sewing machines to sew instead of my beloved machine, which I have missed a lot because I just haven't been using it. So I thought I would bring you guys along on the journey as I convert this into my new sewing space and redoing the downstairs into something I'll share with you once we get down there. But let's get started with the tour around the very messy classroom studio, and show you why I've got to do some rearranging. Okay, so this is my current space. I have moved my desk upstairs and put it here to the side in my sewing studio. This is a disaster. I have been planning on doing this for a while, so everything is out of place. So let's start here. Here is my design idea wall that you guys saw me set up a few weeks ago. Love it. It has worked out perfect. You'll even see that the astronaut quilt that I have for my daughter-in-law is down, has been finished and delivered. But I've got gardening things. I've got projects I'm working on, which is fine. That's what this is supposed to be for. These are for some upcoming shows I've got going on, trying to build up my inventory. This is my stockpile of fabric for my craft shows, but you'll see just kind of messed up here. Moving around, I have moved some bookcases from my living room into here, and they still have all of the items that were on my bookcases in the living room still in here. These need to find a new home. This is my office supplies. These are for craft shows. I've got a few things that I use for business here, but just needs to be straightened up, fixed. Old tripod. Then turning around, Lady Girl's watching very intently here. I found a new dresser for my bedroom. And of course, where did it get dumped? In my sewing studio, because that's where I have room for it. Hold on, somebody's wanting me to pick her up and take her along with us. Come on, baby girl. Alright. So, new thing. I'll show you a little bit better. I'm going to be making giant bow door wreaths for upcoming craft shows. Still have my table where I'll have all the sewing machines out for my students. However, Mom and I recently went to a quilt show, Mountain Quilt Fest in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and there's my sewing machine 2 weeks later, still boxed up. Need to get it back out. The things you see on the table are mostly things I took to the quilt show. Fabric I bought, which I'll show later. Backing I bought for some upcoming quilts. That's the tub I took supplies in. Some goodies I won. Those are fabrics I pulled for a quilt block I worked on at the quilt show. Different things. There's our logo. Mountain Quilt Fest. Love it. Pattern I bought. Goodies I took with me. But then we get into mess. Been working on getting products made for upcoming craft shows. So I bought a second one of these stands to go in the front of my booth. And it has just become a dumping spot to put inventory on as I'm working on it. Moving around, because I have moved my fabrics for classes here to the front, but you'll see all the junk that's been piled in front of it. Getting it ready for a yard sale, hopefully next week. That will go out of here. Move my desk over to the corner, and you even see my weed eater because I don't yet have a home for that. These are all things that need to be found in a home, not there on my desk. Moving around, still have, all right, packages that need to go out. Boxes in the floor. We'll talk about those coming up at the end because I have a job for you guys that I want you to help me do. But cutting table worked out perfectly. Loving where it's at. Need to reorganize things underneath it. Project piles, need to clean that up. Ironing board, working out perfectly. Need to reorganize under it. I'm pulling things out way too much underneath. Just need to sort it out. Lawnmower tires that need to be put onto my lawnmower. And then moving around here. Shelves that have just got to-do lists and my gardening supplies because I don't yet have a spot for my gardening supplies. And then a spot to hang up jackets, purses, things. And then we're back to my design wall. So, my idea for the space. Since I have gotten help bringing up my table, because that definitely was a two-person job. Absolutely love my table. Highly recommend it. In this corner here, I want to redo, and I'll show you the shelving I have in the basement. I want to put corner shelving here. I've got an IKEA corner unit right there that I want to put in. Change this out here and possibly take shelving across the back to store my stash that I will be pulling and working from here in the future. That is going to get a new home. Then just sort out all the things, put this back the way it needs to be, get rid of all the yard sale stuff that needs to go away, put all my inventory back where it needs to go, and try to get this place back together. And again, there's those mystery boxes that we'll be talking about later on. All right, here we go into the basement space. These are my stairs into this little hallway. And then, coming into my unfinished basement here, you see, there's my long arm. Put the new flooring in. Sam's Club. It's what you would use for a children's space or to have under an exercise space. Love it. It's wonderful under the floor because the flooring here is just concrete. So wonderful. Beautiful picture there, lady girl. And I had, see, just unfinished basement over here. My plans were, right there is where my table, my sewing table was, that my machine lives in. And then I was going to have all of my fabrics and supplies right there behind me. But as I said, let me spin you around because like I said, it's an unfinished basement. It's a dumping ground for everything. There's my supplies from school. I'm switching schools and had to bring all of my things home with me, so they all got dumped there. There's my other shelf, so I'll have one for each side now in my craft booth. But I have one window back here, one back there, and where's the other one? Oh, can't see it. Right there. That's all the windows I have down here. So it's kind of darker. Don't really care for how I've got everything set up. And this is what I've done with it. There's my ironing station. It's become a catch-all for all the bins that I don't want to get rid of yet because I haven't organized anything yet. This was my original cutting table, which is an old kitchen table, which I loved. It gave me lots of space for laying things out and cutting. Again, dumping ground. So every time I need any sort of item, I have to dig. Where is it? Do I need one of my rulers? Am I looking for pens? Am I looking for projects that I was working on and had to put away when I moved? It's just become awful. And then again, stuff just stuck everywhere. Here's a cart that I need upstairs that's just randomly full of junk. I've got stuff just kind of randomly stuck everywhere. As I've needed things, I've come down here and pulled them. They're just not in any sort of order that helps me be able to use and utilize this space. So, my first idea, I have this corner shelves here. Those are going to go upstairs and go in the corner. Then, I'm going to see if I can use any of these to go in that space or utilize what I already have there to make it someplace that I can utilize everything I have. I also have a lot of junk. I need to go through these things, see what's still useful, what I want to use, and determine what to get rid of. Then, you'll notice this area back here. Let's move over there a little closer. This is what I've come up with to put all the things for my long arm. This is the basket full of tops with backings. Let's see, there's a backing for each quilt in here that needs to be quilted. But, yet again, don't want to come downstairs in this mess and work. So I'm going to be transforming this into, I want to take, let me back up so I can get lots of room. So this is my long arm. I have a Handy Quilter Amara 20 inch. I want to take it from this spot and turn it around this way. So I'm going to be taking these shells out and rearranging. I want to move these shelves back over this way to make this a whole long arm area. It's just kind of tight working into here. I've got a cabinet. There's different things there. I just need to reorganize and get the space in a better way. Alright, so before I can get started with the remodel upstairs, first thing I have to do is empty these 3 shelves that I'm going to make the corner with upstairs. So, dug out some boxes. Lady girl's all excited because she has no idea what's going on. So I am going to work on emptying these shelves so that I can lug the shelves upstairs and see what we can do. Let's get started. Right, you get down. 3 shelves emptied. Next is to see how to pull them out of here so I can get them upstairs. Gimme. Lady girl wants to say hello too. Alright, let's see. Mission accomplished. 3 shelves emptied. 3 shelves out. Now I just got to drag them up the steps and get them into place in the sewing room after rearranging up there. So let's see how that's going to go. Cabinet number 1 in place. Now, load the next 2 up the steps. Come on, Miss Lady Girl. Okay, classroom area back together. Let's move that up so you guys can see my head a little bit. Maybe I need to sit down. So, all 3 machines set back up to my classroom. Move over this way. And I have got my shelves in place. So I've got, there's those 3 corner shelves. Put a shelf in the middle. The shelf that was in the corner over here to the side. I got 2 rolling carts over there next to the door. And then still have my regular sewing area right where it was, but I've moved it closer this direction. So I think I'm going to end the video there with one more thing at the end. And next step will be to bring all the fabric and supplies from downstairs upstairs and get it sorted into those empty shelves. So, one moment and I'll show you the thing that you guys get to help me with. Alright, now it's your job. I've been working diligently at getting this sewing room and sewing studio flipped around. My homework for the next week is to go downstairs and get all the things that are on those shelves, bring them up and start sorting through them. Your homework for the next week is to pick a number. I have these boxes. Each one is a project that I have started at some point. Don't even remember what some of them are. I have numbered them. There's a bag. Number 1. I'm going to give you a slight peek. Then I've got 6 boxes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll even turn them so you can see a little better about some of the things that might be in them. Pick a number from 1 to 7. Put it in the comments below. Whatever number gets the most comments between here and Facebook for next week, I open the bin and we figure out what we're going to do with that project. Might be a whole quilt, might be a small project, might be a baby quilt, might be something that just needs to go in the scrap pile. But we won't know until you guys pick a number, and we're going to go through all 7 eventually. But you guys get to pick from 1 to 7. What number do you want to see me work on? Let's see. I'll even bring you a little closer. What do you think is in the boxes? We'll peek in the back. So, pick a number, 1 to 7. Like and subscribe. Comment about your number, 1 to 7, and we'll see you next week.